family, you know. Anyways, I had something I wanted to share with you guys. I was gonna make it into a post earlier, but it would have been too long, and who reads really long posts anymore? Nobody. So what's better than a video? It's gonna be slightly serious. I mean, relatively serious. About a year ago, I was in a production, a play, which you know I do, called The Flesh is a Mess, Threesome, the arrangement. It was written and directed by Dee Dee Bannister. Shouts out to you. And there was a line in the play that just never left me. It was, "The devil is busy because we're nearing the end." And at first, it really, it was not deep for me. It was like, oh, the devil's busy because we're nearing the end. Gotta be here soon. That's why all this madness is going on. But I think it has a deeper concept. Sunday, T.D. Jakes did a sermon called "The War Between Two Worlds." And the whole concept with that sermon was that, there's a war going on between God, basically, and the enemy. And what it is that God has this plan for your life, but the enemy knows that plan. So he is putting a lot of, I'll use the word that T.D. Jakes used, tear in your life to keep you from what God has for you. And it's crazy because a year ago, dealing with that play, even with that play, it was crazy, trying to get it done, because when you're doing God's work, there's always so much opposition, really, and you never really see or notice how even what you're doing is speaking to you. And that whole "the devil is busy because we're nearing the end," with the sermon that T.D. Jakes did, it brought me to the realization that, and this is for, anyone that's going through a lot right now, let's just say a lot. The devil is busy because you're nearing the end. Like, you're coming to the end of your struggle. You're coming to the moment where you'll be able to breathe and relax and just float day by day. And the enemy is not happy with that. The enemy does not want to see God's path for you be brought forth. He wants you to live in misery, stress. He doesn't want that. So the moment that you are about to step into, I'll say, your glory, the enemy steps in and throws everything he can think of at you. And what's crazy is that the play actually embodied that exact situation. There was a young lady in the play who had come to the realization, basically, that she deserved more. She didn't have to allow her past to still be her future. And when she came to that realization, and when she was about to step out of it, the enemy threw everything that she's used to at her. All types of things. Things that she would have easily taken the chance to do. Yeah, sure, let's do it. A threesome? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Whatever. And in the moment that it was presented to her, God spoke. And he let her know that you don't have to do this. This is not the plan that I have for your life. And that's the moment that God is waiting for with you. And the only way that he can get to that moment with you is if you give him that problem. In the play, she poured her heart out to him. She talked about all the things that had happened to her from childhood to adulthood, all the things she had dealt with, and she asked God to take control, to deliver her from that. And that's what God is waiting on. He's waiting on you to ask for him, and then leave it alone. because he got you. And it's crazy because, I'm telling you guys this because I had to do the same thing. I'm not holier than thou or anything like that. I believe in a higher power. Jesus died for all my sins, and everyone has their moments where it's so hard that they can't even utter, God help me. But if in your heart that is what you're crying, that is what you're saying, then he knows. And even if the best way to get the quickest results, I'll say, is to say it out loud, to confess with your mouth, God, I need you, help me, and leave it at the altar. And it doesn't have to be the altar at the church, and that's like another post. But the altar, leave it at his feet. When you go into prayer, you need to lay down your worries at the feet of God and walk away with a renewed mind and with your faith at the highest level. I'm gonna stop because this can go on forever, but just think of that statement, that line. Thanks, Dee Dee, for putting that out there. Thanks, TD Jakes, for bringing it, around to understanding, because the devil is busy because you're nearing the end. Your struggle is over. It's basically over. If you feel like it's getting worse and worse and worse, it's because you're nearing the end of your struggle. Don't stray from that path of ending your struggle, because if you let anything else take your attention, you'll definitely still be in your struggle. And God hasn't left you. Just remember that God hasn't left you. He would never give you more than you could bear. And the battle is not yours. Peace and love.